Hello, folks, and welcome to the Counting Sheep podcast, episode 44. My name is Ruth, and I'll be your host. And welcome to my podcast. My podcast is all about fibery things, what I get up to with crocheting, knitting, spinning yarn, and taking care of my sheep, which provide me with nice wool to spin and make things with. So I come to you from our small sheep farm where I live with my husband. My dog Cooper, who you might hear in the background, he just settled down, so I'm kind of fingers crossed. And then we also have a house cat, Dora, and like I said, 4 sheep and about 9 chickens at last count. So I welcome you here. If you find something that resonates with you, don't hesitate to put a like on the video and subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I have new content coming out. Yeah, today is kind of a back to winter day. We had some snow yesterday. Prior to that, we were having some 60 to 65-degree weather. All of our snow practically disappeared. Along with that, we had some rain. But then yesterday we had another, I'd say 3 to 4 inches of snow. And that's what March is like in Vermont. I did manage to get some new footage for my opening kind of credit thing for the video. It's big sugaring season here in Vermont, and by sugaring I mean the maple trees are tapped for the sap, and then the sap is boiled down to make that lovely maple syrup that we all enjoy here. So yeah, I got a little bit of footage there. I think it's always so neat to see the sap buckets out and watch how fast the sap actually drips into them. So, all right, so today I have a bunch of crochet and a little bit of knitting and maybe some acquisitions at the end, hopefully, if this doesn't run too long. What I'm wearing, this is a older make of mine. I believe I made this in 2018. This is the Falling Ivy Shawl by Hannah Sigmund. And I made this out of, I think, a yarn that is no longer available. She called herself Sheep Happens. She was dyed this yarn here. It's a DK weight yarn. And yeah, it's a nice crocheted item. Hannah Sigmund does mostly crochet patterns. And yeah, I really love it. It's nice and cozy. And if I can get it to sit right. I'm never good at fashioning things. I just kind of throw them on and hope they they adhere to my body correctly. So I'll stand up for a bit just so you can get the full effect. So yeah, I think at the time I was really admiring this orange color. It really kind of brightens things up, and it's a good scarf to wear around Halloween. So yeah, that's the Falling Ivy Shawl by Hannah Sigmund. All right, so I'm going to dive right into the crochet. I want to give you an update on my Warm Up America blanket. If you tuned in to the last episode, you'll know that I am participating in the Warm Up America 2025 challenge, which is to make a newborn blanket by, I think it's April 14th. And I chose the same yarn that the designer chose, just to keep it simple for myself. The designer is Bee Hooked, which is Brittany. She has a channel here on the YouTube, and I encourage you to go over and check her out. She has wonderful tutorials, wonderful patterns. So these are the 2 colors I chose, and this is from Lion Brand, and it is called Ice Cream, Big Scoop. And the colors that I chose were Tutti Frutti, and this is blueberry something or other. Blueberry bluette. So these are the two that I chose for the blanket. I am halfway done with it as of this morning. So I just want to show you how it's looking. I'm really kind of happy. It's looking like a newborn blanket. So happy with that. Let me show you. So I'm just going to back up a little bit here, just so you can get the full effect. Some of the colors, really bright, very pastel. So yeah. So now this whole time I've been increasing, so adding squares. This is done corner to corner. And now I'll be decreasing the rest of the way for the other half of the blanket. And it's kind of a nice, easy, I hesitate to use the term mindless because I always envision people without minds for some reason. But anyway, it's a wonderful project. It's easy to memorize. And so when you just want kind of a palate cleanser from working on other things, it's kind of nice to have this on the go. So yeah, this is what's left over after half a blanket. So I'm wondering whether I'll get surely another project out of it. Maybe a little toy or something for a child. So yeah, that's my Warm Up America. If you're interested in participating in any of Warm Up America's endeavors, they have their own website. And they do kind of, they actually, their big claim to fame is people would just make 9x5 rectangles and then send them in, and somebody would stitch them all together to make blankets for adults. And then it just kind of branched out into other areas of need. So if you're interested, I would go over there and check Warm Up America out. They are a great charity if you're wanting to make something by hand for somebody else. All right, so that's my update on Warm Up America. The next thing I want to show you is my FO. Woohoo! So here is the Keira quarter zip by Courtney Clark, otherwise known as at Tinderbox. I'll take it off the hanger. I just got done filming all the segments for sewing in the zipper. And so that'll be going up today along with this video. So this is the Keira quarter zip, and I've been working on this for a while. The yarn I used is from Barocco. It's Vintage DK. This color does have a name, but not on the ball band. It has a name if you go to purchase it somewhere, but the color number is 21174, and it's this nice heathery green. And as you can see, she is done. Done. I blocked it, and you'll see that in the video as well. I blocked it, and I also wove in all the ends. It was a real good girl and got everything completed in time for today's video. So yeah, I highly recommend this pattern. She kind of gives you steps at the end of how to sew a zipper in. And I kind of threw my little, suggestions in my video of what I do. Stitching wise, and I do basting, and I also, I pin, I baste, and then, after I baste, I make sure it's the look I want and that sort of thing. So, so while she does give you instructions on, basic instructions on how to put the zipper in, she doesn't really go into any specificity. So, So yeah, I'm glad I did the video. So yeah, so let me know what you think. Anyway, enough about that. So anyway, this is textured in the yoke, and then a plain stitch, half double crochet for the rest of it. This thing is warm. I was gonna wear it today, but I was already, when I had it on, I already was kind of like, this is a bit much. This is for a good Vermont winter, so, because it isn't a DK and it is crochet. And it also, you know, allows you to unzip and allow a little air in if you get too warm. But yeah, I love this. I can wear it over something as well as just as is. So yeah, and like I said, you know, Courtney's patterns are so well written. All you have to do is follow along, and she leads you in the right direction. So can't say enough about her patterns. So that is a finished object, and very happy with that sweater. All right, and moving on. So I wanted to let you know that I did start something else, if I can find it here somewhere. Yep. And if you recall, it was probably 2 episodes ago that I was showing you some swatches that I did in this Hope Made Yarn Co. yarn. And Hope Made Yarn Co. is in New Jersey. And she is a great dyer of yarn. This colorway is called Possum. And I am making, let me get the picture for you here, the Sivu Tee by Linda Scuia. And that's her there modeling her Sivu Tee. Now she's got this on just as a standalone piece. I am actually making a size larger so that I can layer it as we do in Vermont. I showed you my swatches before, so I won't bore you with that. But the swatch that I did go with was, if I can get them untangled here, things happen when you stick stuff in bags. 4.5 millimeter hook, size 7 hook. So I'm going with that. And I've started, this is a top-down tee. So I just want to show you my start. There's, you know, a little bit of a start here. So here it is. And this is a very stretchy start to a garment. And so it is very stretchy, and it does go over my head. I made sure, because it was looking kind of small for my noggin, but it does stretch, and so it will go over my head. But yeah, I don't have much accomplished yet, but I just wanted to show you some of the detail. She's known for texture, and so yeah, and the yarn is just so pretty. It's really working up so well for this particular item. So like I said, I'm going to be doing it as a layering piece. I like vests. It's kind of nice to have your arms free, and and you know, I like cardigans too, you know, simple on and off. But yeah, so this is the Sivu Tee. This is probably my 3rd pattern I've done from Linda. She, like I said, is known for her texture patterns. So a lot of post stitches, a lot of different types of directional crochet. So it's kind of nice to get those brain pathways firing. Yeah, so I enjoy her patterns a lot. So that's the Sivu Tee. And then I wanted to show you something I have been working on for a while. When I used to do sheep and wool festivals, I used to sell my own yarn from my sheep, and I used to dye some of it. And then I was challenged to make something up in my yarn, and I came up with a pattern, and it's not a published pattern as of yet, simply because I've been kind of dragging my feet with it. But I'm learning a lot again. You have to do these things so that, you know, you can keep your neuroplasticity going. Anyway, so I wanted to show you, this is what I call the Chakra Beret. And chakra is it's a Hindu or a yoga type discipline. And they have these colors in the chakra sequence. So here is the actual band. So this is done up in my yarn, my sheep yarn that I had at the time. And then I did dye all of the colors that went into this. And recently, I've had a request to make it up in a different yarn. So I have gone with J&S colors. Excuse me, I'm going to take this off because it's even too warm for that. Anyway, I am rewriting the pattern for clarity. I wrote the pattern many years ago, and looking at it now, I'm kind of appalled at the lack of clarity in it. So it's kind of good to go over these things again. But anyway, I want to show you how far I've gotten with the J&S. So once again, you know, their colors are far brighter than what I dyed. And I'm still working on the band to make sure those rows are clear in the pattern. And once I'm satisfied with it, it will be going up on Ravelry. I'd enjoy your feedback. I happen to like wearing berets. I think they work with my, you know, the shape of my face and my hair and that sort of thing. But not everybody likes a beret. So let me know what you think. Like I said, this is being done in J&S, and I will have the particulars as soon as it's all done. But I thought I'd just kind of get your opinion about berets and colorful berets at that. So yeah, so that's my Chakra Beret that I have been working on in the background. All right, so that's it for crochet. I feel like I'm going a million miles a minute today. But I am going to move on to knitting. When last we spoke, I was telling you about the class I'm taking with Pam Grushkin from Pam Grushkin Knits. And since that time, I've spilled water on my pattern, and I've had to dry that out. But anyway, so you'll see the watermarks here on my pattern. But this is called the Entertainer. That's a picture of the back of it. And I actually have one sleeve completely done. And I think sleeves with fingering weight seem like they take forever, because they do. And so I have the other side of the garment on the needle finally. And so I'll be working away at that. But I wanted to show you just how lovely this yarn is working up. This is Bare Naked Wools by Knit Spot. And this is their Milkshake Sport. And the color is Peanut Butter Shake. So as you can see, there's all this texture in the yoke and on the shoulder. This is kind of a multi-directional make. Sorry about the wrinkles. So you start kind of up here, going back and forth. And then once you're done with that, you connect up in the back. So here's the back, you connect up. This little lump is going to block out. That's kind of a, result of bringing the two sides together. And then you knit straight down, doing the front and back, and then you do the rest of the shoulders and the sleeve on one side, the side, and then now I'm on, as you can see, the other side. It's hard to show something like this on camera. This is beautiful. I've tried it on. Once again, another garment you can try on as you go. And yeah, it really is a gorgeous make in and of itself. This is definitely for an experienced person, an experienced knitter. Had I not had Pam to kind of guide me through, I think I would have gotten lost. It's not that the pattern is unclear, it's just that there's a lot going on. And so it was nice to have Pam say and remind us, oh, you have to do this. She wants you to do this here, and, you know, that sort of thing. So, but, you know, that being said, it's a lot of fun to do something like that. You know, it's certainly well out of my box of making sweaters. And I kind of like the unique construction of this. So, and I like kind of how the neck comes together as well. So, yeah. So yeah, that's the Entertainer. And I forgot to tell you who. It's by Hinterim Stein, and it is on Ravelry, the pattern. And the pattern is quite long, so don't let that trip you up. And let's see, I just want to show you the yarn label again. They have a cute like yarn label, Bare Naked Wools. And this is their sport weight. All right, so that is the Entertainer. And then I wanted to show you my very, very, very slow progress on my Nordic Nights. When last we spoke, I was on the sleeve, and I am still on the sleeve, but I'm further along. This is the Nordic Nights sweater by Jennifer Steingass. If you're familiar with Jennifer Steingass, she has quite a few designs and yoke designs. So this is mine. And I did mine in hand spun. The green yarn is hand spun, and then this yellow color is from Main Yarn and Fiber Supply. It is their Sacco base, and it's a 4-ply fingering weight, 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. This colorway is Dutch Mood. And here is where I'm at with the sleeve. Now, it may seem like I haven't done diddly on this, but I assure you I have. See, you can see I have my flexi flips needles here. I also have my stitch stoppers in place, just to ensure that when I stuff this in the bag, nothing travels off the needles. But I am decreasing at this point. I think at this juncture I am done with the decreases, and I'm just going to add a little length to this before we start the color work on the sleeves, which is the same as the color work, a different chart, but same as the yoke. Chaz, you go up in needle size for this, obviously, so that you can get your hand through. Because all color work will tighten stuff up. So yeah, I'm happy. And I'm also happy kind of with the underarm as well. I mean, there's always an issue when you're picking up stitches with the underarm for the sleeve that you're going to have big gaping holes. Between her pattern, you know, between her instructions and my obsessive compulsiveness, I did a pretty good job of trying to avoid a big gaping hole. And if I put it on later and there's still a hole there, at least it's not, you know, unmanageable. Be able to fix that straight up. So yeah, that's my Nordic Nights. I'm very pleased with this. Don't get me wrong. But once in a while you have to put it down. I find even with these flexi flips, my hands do get tired after a while, and so I have to switch off and do something else with my hands and use different muscles. So that being said, I think this is the way to go for me when it comes to small circumference knitting, especially sleeves. The flexi flips are working very well for me. All right, so that is Nordic Nights, and that is all of the projects that I've made some progress on, some respectful progress. But yeah, so I just want to show you a few things I got just recently, one of which has been out for a bit. This is a line of publication, and it's called Nordic Knits. And I will confess, I bought this for that for that vest on the front. True confessions. I just this is a design by Caitlin Hunter. For the astute eyes, you will know that she uses this design. She's already had a hat out with this design called the Alpine Bloom hat. Yeah, and so, but it's not, you know, you open up this magazine and you find all sorts of other lovely delights, like this sweater with the yoke. Just gorgeous. This one is called Erd. Yeah, colorwork yoke sweater knitted from the top down. Yeah, and it actually starts with a Latvian braid, so that's very interesting construction. Usually I've used Latvian braids and like mittens and that sort of thing. Here's a garment that's very textured, so lots of nice cables. I like the V-neck on that. I like the length on that. Probably make it a little longer. But yeah, pretty. That one is called Puro, P-U-R-O. Yeah. And yeah, so Lina has lovely publications, and if nothing but to look at lovely things like this, you know. It's very gorgeous. Yeah, and this is called, obviously, the Alpine Bloom vest, I want to say. They don't tell us. Nordic Bloom. Nordic Bloom, so it's not Alpine Bloom at all. Yeah. Similar vein, though. Anyway, so that is the line of Nordic Knits. The other publication I acquired recently is called, this is a self-publication by Alana Wilcox called A New Spin on Color. I am signed up for a workshop with her next month in April down at the Six Loose Ladies in Chester, Vermont. She's going to be going over color and spinning for a full day on a Saturday. So she's quite energetic. If you've ever taken a class from Alana Wilcox, she's a master spinner, which means that she went through a pretty rigorous course on all sorts of spinning techniques and prep, you know, wool prep and that sort of thing. So I always like being in the company of a master spinner. I just feel like I can glean knowledge for them. It just kind of comes off of them in waves. So yeah, they're so willing to share and keep the art of spinning yarn alive in our time. And then finally, I saw this in a bookstore. This is a crochet book, which I haven't seen before. It's Crochet Hats and Mittens for Everyone. Winter Essentials in sizes newborn to adult large. The author is Sasha Blas van Wagtendonk. I'm sure I butchered that up, but you can see it on the screen. Uh, but I love this, especially, you know, something like that. Beautiful. So you've got color and texture going on in the same mitten. And what else? What else? Oh, here's my little tam. I love a good beret. So so there's the beret with the mitts, matching mitts. And what else? What else caught my eye in here? I should have put a bookmark in. I think this book caters to all levels of crochet, which is nice because, you know, you can pick and choose what you want to do in terms of, you know, oh, here it is. Yeah, this headband. Very cool. Yeah, so anyway, that's crochet hats. Hats and mittens for everyone. So yeah. All right, so I think that's all I have for today. I hope you're all well. Keep crafting. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, tell me what you're working on. How's this spring equinox going for you? And I will see you in the next episode. Take care now. Bye-bye.